Today we're going to be showcasing some of the ideas that are going into the next Tier 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. So I get sent playtesting from Duelist every once in a while. I figure we go ahead and cover that. We'll have their deck profile at the end of this, so you can kind of have an idea of what's going on here. We're going to be testing out Diabellstar with Rescue Ace, and this actually is kind of an interesting little showcase just of the little utility options and how the format has kind of warped itself at the moment to see what this deck can actually do. And you can see two very good perpetrators here of said format. So we're going to go ahead and, unfortunately, the curse of Rescue Ace is sometimes you see hands like this, and you know there's not really much you can do about that. Somebody's gonna be like, Robbie, you said the deck was good. Yeah, but I mean, even cash tier up bricks, and you know, you get to see how that actually ends up working for defensive options. Go ahead and Vanquish Solon up here. We're gonna go ahead and Book of Eclipse Rosin here, and so that way we can't go ahead and actually do our thing here. They're gonna go ahead and set the Continue and the Called by the Grave, because that book actually messed them up pretty well here, which is actually pretty good. And they do get the free draw one, which is pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to slam down evenly here. We're going to go ahead and clean up the two back row, which, once again, were called by and whatnot. Wasn't exactly the greatest thing in the world. They're going to go ahead and Borgeron up. Man, the free utility assets here. And they go ahead and continue on with the draw package. There's the Mad Love. All right, down comes Yield Rosin. And Kaiser Varius. Yeah, I've seen enough to know where this is going. This should probably start to exceed on into the game range here. Down comes the Kaiser. Swing on in for 25. Ooh, not enough damage output there. But, I mean, to be fair, we do have the Dust Devil set. So, good luck to our opponent. Alright, we'll go ahead, reveal. Alright, we're going to go ahead and chain. Alright, and they're going to go ahead and Ash. Okay, well, that was fantastic. Lovely. Great. Alright, what does this deck actually do? I love being down a game in terms of playtesting. It always feels incredibly good. Man, this Rescue Ace HQ is glued to our hand. But we do have the Sinful Spoils here, which actually is going to be pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to drop the Airlifter. They're going to go ahead and they're going to drop the Ash here, which actually cuts us off. We're going to go ahead and do the Hunter Fiend here, which lets us add a Diabellstar monster from our deck to our hand. Alright, so we'll go ahead. We're going to grab the Dark Witch here. Alright, the Dark Witch lets us kick this off of the field. We summon the Dark Witch, and this is going to go ahead and set out the good card, the original Sinful Spoils from our deck, which lets us send one other face-up card. We control the grave, especially on the level 1 fire monster from our hand or deck. So guess what we're going to get to do here? We kick the Diabellstar off of the field, and now we have the Hydrant. Now it's time to go ahead and do Hydrant things. There's the Turbulence Clearance. Slam down the field. We're going to go ahead and hello, IP Masquerena. How are you? We're going to go ahead and kick on off here. We are effectively off to the races now. Here comes the Turbulence, revealing the Extinguish, the Contain, the Emergency, and the Alert. And they are all set to our field. Now the opponent has to play what? Through a Crow, 4 Interruptions, and the IP. Spin into something, and I mean they're on Feather Duster, Rosin, Small World, Doggeron. Oh boy, Feather Duster, my favorite counter to this deck. There goes the Feather Duster for the full cleanup. Here comes the Pot of Prosperity. Yikes, this is rough. They're going to get an Ash Blossom off of that Excavation. Okay, that's an interesting choice here. I see that they deploy the Doggeron, right? Oh, they're going to Doggeron over the Turbulence? Why would you do that? Should have took out the IP. Well, I guess their hand isn't. Here's the Rosin. We're going to go ahead and IP chain into the Unicorn. Sure, we go ahead and spin that back. All right. And our opponent's forced to pass now. All right, cool. Go ahead, Diabellstar. All right, our opponent's going to go ahead and hit the scoop button there because the Diabellstar is going to start the recursion package. Okay, well, sometimes I feel like had they actually took out the IP, I feel like they could have won that pretty easily. Am I wrong? Leave a comment down below and tell me that, because I feel like with the Kaijus, you have better options to kind of hit there. But we're going to go ahead and road on into Rosin. This is pretty familiar. All right, we're going to go ahead and deploy. We're going to go ahead and do Impulse, and they always have the Ash. Man, the amount of hand traps that we have to play through in this game is actually astronomical to me. Like, kudos to having all these outs. Dr. Madlove to the hand. Rotate on into the good card. We're going to go ahead and do the extension. They're going to go ahead and bring on down their friend. All right, there's the Continue off of the top. All right. And we drew the Preventer for turn. Cool. The fact that we do have this, though, means that we can do a lot of things. All right, we're going to go ahead and continue. They're going to go ahead and revive, trigger into the border. Oh, boy. All right, we're going to go ahead and deploy. We're going to go ahead and trigger. All right. Go ahead and get the emergency now. All right, we're going to go emergency. We're going to bait the Ash there. Now we're going to go ahead and slam down the good card. Now we get the free Hydrant for free. Hydrant time. All right, they're going to go ahead and use the effect on summon. We're going to go ahead and chain. All right, go ahead and chain bounce. Yup, up comes the Hydrant. All right, so now we're on Hydrant for Hydrant. All right, go ahead and get the reveal. And unfortunately, it has to pass. Interesting. I don't know, we're still resolving. Never mind. All right, we're going to go ahead and reveal on the multi, pop that. We're going to go ahead and rescue Ace, finally getting the Turbulence to our hand. Down comes the Turbulence. We're going to go ahead and Kaiser Varius. All right, down comes Kaiser. We're going to go ahead and Turbulence, rescue, alert, the Contain, and the Extinguish. Now they're all up. All right, we're going to go ahead and fire the alert here to grab another Preventer. Go ahead and make the Lingaribo. Rotate on into this. All right, we're going to go ahead and book that so we can go ahead and swing on in. Swing on in, and then clear that up, and then get a nice little 300 bonk on in there. All right, mission accomplished. Now we're going to go ahead and rotate on into Salamangrate. Go ahead and make the Heat Soul to draw. And we actually drew the Hunter Fiend off of the top deck there. That's actually pretty good. Go ahead and grab the Diabellstar Witch. All right, go ahead and drop this down. Go ahead and set up another one. And we'll go ahead and set up, and we get our draw one. And we got an Ash. Holy moly. We're going to go ahead and attempt to draw here. All right, we get our draw one. All right, they're going to go ahead and drop down the good card. We're going to Ash that. All right, go ahead and reveal. Go ahead, we lose that. All right. They're going to go ahead and Borger on up. Nope, never mind. They're just going to go ahead and scoop it on up. Interesting little choices here, but I think this is also a pretty good showcase to show, you know, using the extra deck assets here for this deck. And just some of the little cute things that you can do overall. Maybe not the cleanest round of play testing, but I think it's interesting nonetheless. Let's pass it on over to the deck list. All right, so this is the list that we have for this. Now, a couple things I do want to point out here to start things off. You don't have to play 3 Hydrant anymore. The Diabellstar package actually does kind of supplement this out a little bit. Some of the very early OCG builds were kind of showcasing that, hey, you know, you can kind of adjust these ratios a little bit and still do have success with this. I think that's by far probably the most interesting takeaway from this is, you know, you don't have to optimize to the craziest numbers here, but I do still honestly recommend playing 3 because it is still the heart and soul of the deck. And as you see, I mean, the more hydrants you have access to, typically the better place you are going to find yourself. So capitalizing on this is going to be good. 2 of the Preventer I feel like is pretty standard. 2 Turbulence, do not try to maximize this to 3. You're just going to hate yourself. We have the 1 Fire Engine. We have 1 Fire Attacker with the triple Airlifter and the triple copies Impulse. 1 copy of the Monitor, and then we only play 1 copy of the Diabellstar. I do understand that this is a giant walking, talking Bysteel target once it hits the graveyard, which means Magna Nut and Juris Worm are going to be things that you're going to be, flipping around with out here. But the engine just ups the stability of this deck so much. And then, of course, we have triple Searchers to get to this, which also gives you the ability to place and redraw an extra card as well. And then, of course, Alert, the 6 books. This is pretty much what the format has kind of forced us into at this point in time. You don't have to play 6, but you're probably not going to have the most consistent results right now. Depending on how a future list does change us up, you will probably see some sort of alternatives to this. You also have the 1 Call by the Grave, triple emergency. 1 for 1, I don't know if a lot of people are going to stick to playing this. It's an interesting choice. The 1 Rhoda, the 1 Rescue, the 1 HQ, the 1 Sinful Spoils, this is our rotator. 1 Contain, then we have triple evenly here. I also don't know if people are going to stick to this. It's a cute idea, main decking this. Having those going second cards in your main deck so you can tear through a board will get you some sort of results sometimes. Then we have 1 Extinguish, 1 Reinforce, and 1 Sylvia. I've seen a lot of Reinforce being cited in the OCG, so I think you can kick that down to the side. Then we have 1 Underworld Goddess, the 1 Sunlight Wolf, the 1 Anima, the 1 Proxy, the 1 Lingaribo, the 1 Unicorn, the 1 Phoenix, the 1 IP, your 1 Hida, the 1 Donner, the 1 Draw Some Cards, this good card, Honestly, this card will steal you some games. You have the Apple, the Access Code, and the Mud, and then you got triple Ash, triple DD Crow, triple Cosmic, 2 crossouts. Yeah, I'd probably shift things around here. 1 Harpies, and then the triple Barrier here, wrapping up probably one of the more interesting little test decks of the format, but I think this will give people an idea of where we're heading with this deck. So please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.